So many of my clients come to me with amazing business ideas and say, Yashwant, I want to start a private limited company. And my immediate question would be, why a private limited company, for which there is usually no concrete answer. I am sure many of you have the same dilemma while starting your own businesses. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the different kind of organizational structures, the pros and cons of each, and finally, the one which is best suited for you. I am Yashwant Nijgal, a chartered accountant in practice. Every week I post one video which will certainly provide you with valuable financial insights. Let's start off with the most basic and the simplest form of entity, which is a proprietorship concern. This does not require any specific registration with any of the governing bodies, and it is as simple as putting your name up the wall and starting your business. Now the biggest disadvantage is that this is not a separate legal entity. And what do I mean by this? A case against the proprietorship concern is a case against you, and this is something which you need to be careful about. This is best suited for businesses or freelancers or professionals who do not need any partners and want to keep the compliance cost to the minimum. And the second one would be a partnership firm, which is required when two or more people are starting a business together and don't mind compromising on the separate legal entity. This is most ideal for three reasons. One, it is pretty straightforward to incorporate a partnership firm, and two, it is pretty simple to make changes or edits to the partnership deed, and three, there are no additional statutory compliances other than your standard annual income tax filing. If two or more people are looking to start a business and want to keep things as simple as possible, this would be the way to go. Let's get into the third kind of business entity, which is a limited liability partnership or an LLP. This is in between a partnership firm and a private limited company. This is a partnership firm with a separate legal entity. So what do I mean by separate legal entity? In case there is a dispute and a case has been filed against the LLP, it would mean that the partners will not be personally liable. And if you are a customer facing business, this will be very much essential. Keep in mind that LLPs are lower on compliances and restrictions as compared to a private limited company, but the tax rates are higher at 30% as compared to 22 or 25% in the case of a private limited company. If you want to start a business with two or more people and you're very particular about having a separate legal entity, then LLP would be the right way to go about it. The fourth and the final one would be a private limited company, and there are two types. One is the regular private limited company, and the second one is a one-person company, which is basically a private limited company with just one shareholder. So how a private limited company is different from all the other types of entities which we have discussed is that it has a more structured way of operation because of the statutory restrictions. Some of the big advantages are: one, it is again a separate legal entity like an LLP. The second would be that the tax rate is just 22% in most cases, as against 30% in case of a partnership firm or an LLP. And the third one would be that if you are looking to raise funds from a private equity or a venture capitalist, usually they would prefer to go with a private limited company. However, keep in mind that in case of a private limited company, one, the annual compliance cost and the incorporation costs are on the higher side. Two, it is mandatory to get the books of account audited under Companies Act irrespective of the turnover. And three, you cannot give or take loans from anyone and everyone. I would like to highlight two key points. One is that especially in the case of an LLP or a company, make sure that you take compliances very seriously, as the cost of non-compliance is very high. And two, if you decide to shut down your business at any given point in time, make sure that you do it as per the rules and regulations and not leave it abruptly. Finally, how will you decide the kind of entity you want to go ahead with? So it simply depends on the number of partners you want to have, whether you need separate legal entity or not, and whether or not you're going to have investors at any given point in time. No tricks, no hacks. Follow me for valuable financial insights.